This coming beta of Fractal Architect for iOS has so many new things in it, so I plan to make 3 tutorials on it. This overview now and 2 in-depth tutorials when it is released on test flight. This will be a very brief video on what's new. There are 2 big news and I will give each of them a tutorial of their own. The big new features are Lua scripts and a palette editor. Users who have experience of Fractal Architect for Mac will be familiar with Lua scripts. For others, it can be a foreign concept, but don't worry, it is not as hard as it might seem. Lua scripts are shortcuts to different things that you might want to do to a fractal. There are 2 types of scripts. Scripts that makes new random fractals and tweak scripts that change fractals. In the new random page, there are now 2 tabs at the top of the page that says Configured and Scripted. In the Figure tab, you can make random fractals as usual by choosing variations from a list. And in the Scripted tab, you get a list of scripts instead of the variation list. These scripts are saved configured settings that make different types of random fractals. You can also save your own configured fractals as new scripts, so if you have found a good variation mix, you can now save it and recall it later. There are some small but significant changes in other parts of the app too. Now when you add a fractal to the favorites, the toolbar will flash blue. So you no longer have to wonder if you hit that small icon and your chosen fractals really are saved in the favorites. When you save fractals to the favorites, they now end up at the top of the page instead of at the bottom, so no more scrolling to find your latest favorites. When you make new random fractals in the variants editor or on the new random page, configured or scripted, you can choose to add a tweak script that does different things. It could be setting the fractal to a specific ratio, making it brighter, adding variations, changing the scale or much more. There are lots of useful fractal scripts that you can try and you can easily make your own without writing any code. If you are not a stranger to writing code, you can make even more advanced scripts. You can collect a set of scripts in a script list and have the app execute all those scripts at the same time. You could add hypertile, zoom out, change the symmetry, add a pre-final variation, and set another color mode at the same time. And if you have made a very useful set of scripts in a script list, you can save the list as a new script in Mine, where you collect all your own scripts. Then we have the new palette editor. I will give a shorter description on that, since most users probably are more familiar to the concept of changing colors. When you open a saved fractal in the preview, from a file or from the favorites, you now have a new icon in the toolbar, the letter P in a circle. That icon opens the palette editor, where you can tweak your colors to your heart's desire. In the editor, you can rotate the colors, change the frequency, move individual color nodes, use one of the manufacturer color palettes, and much more. You can also save your own color palettes to a color stash for use on other fractals. And that's a brief overview of the new beta that will be coming out soon. Thank you.